Hey guys, Dale from Schwartz Performance here. It's our November 2019 shop update. We've got the 54 Studebaker on the ground here. Doug finished up the suspension and chassis fabrication. There's a few odds and ends to still button up on this, but we do have the dry sump LT4 crate engine mounted along with a 8L90 8-speed automatic. So the front ride height needs to just increase a little bit for some ground clearance that we're dealing with. And we did get the engine to fit underneath that factory Studebaker sloped hood. We were a little worried at first because of the supercharger on the LT4, how tall it is. The late model lids on the LT4 are pretty tall. We thought maybe we'd have to go with a shorter one from an earlier LT4, but we did get away with it. So with a little bit of engine setback, that was possible. We will have to do a little bit of firewall modification due to the engine setback, but all in all, we got to fit under the hood, which was the ultimate goal. Well, we've made a lot of progress on Jeff's 56 Chevy in the last month. We got the exhaust fabrication complete. We've got the air intake fab complete, the wiring, plumbing. It actually runs now, so let's check it out. That Chevrolet Performance 495 horse LS3 sounds pretty good, doesn't it? This thing still has to be final tuned and then see where the customer wants us to go as far as the interior and the rest of the assembly. On last month's update, we had just finalized the painting on Joe's 69 GTO convertible project here. We've since mounted the engine and trans in the chassis, mounted the chassis to the body, and we're working on the plumbing and wiring right now. So Ken just got the dry sump tank and breather tank mounted for this Chevrolet Performance LS7 dry sump engine, and we're continuing on the wiring so we can get this thing fired up here in the next week or so. So we've been making some headway on Tony's 70 Chevelle project here with the Nelson Racing engine in it. We've got the remote coils mounted to the frame rails. MSD wires ran to the spark plugs. We do have the air intake tube fabricated. It's currently in the bodywork stage, getting ready to get painted. And the next aspect on this is we're going to be starting on some of the interior work. Speaking of interiors, we've just got Stan's 67 Mustang back from Casson Customizing, who did the complete upholstery job on the interior here. We've got the dash, the console, the seats, a rear panel, all upholstered in this black Be Cool leather with suede inserts. So it looks really classy, really high tech. We kept some of the brushed inserts that the factory deluxe interior had to keep it kind of retro, along with the gray square weave carpet that's inside here. The gauges in here are from Classic Instruments. They're the Carroll Shelby edition. The white face really brightens up the interior. We installed a digital guard dog push button start on this thing too to help modernize the interior. It's also got a retro sound radio which has Bluetooth and Sirius XM capability. We've still got to put a few miles on this car before it's delivered to the customer, but we're just waiting for a little bit nicer day since it's been snowing and salty around here. So hopefully sometime soon we can get all that wrapped up for them. Although it may not look like much has been done to this Hudson, we have progressed heavily on it. We've got a lot of the plumbing done, the radiator, the transmission, the power steering lines, the fuel lines, all that stuff's done. We're in the pre-assembly phase before it gets blown apart for paint. We're continuing on a lot of the sheet metal stuff as well. We've got new hood latches mounted here, which are kind of a more modern street rod type of design here from Watson's. And they work really nicely locating this hood center. And we've got those all welded in. We've got the wipers all hooked up. It's a vacuum operated wiper system, kind of like the stock one, but we retrofitted another system to it. The Vintage Air kit is here and completely mounted up. A lot of the lines have been run for the AC and the heater hoses as well. We also fabricated this really cool panel underneath the dash that houses some new vents in there for the AC and heat, as well as the controls for the Vintage Air system. We've got the Flaming River polished steering column mounted in here, and we still got to figure out a steering wheel that we're gonna put in here to match the overall design of the car. But other than that, it's really close to being torn apart and getting painted. We've been finalizing all of the sheet metal fabrication on Chris's 63 Chevy 2 here. I've got the chassis back underneath it so we can do the front inner fenders and the auto-rad radiator support that we got in. It's all aluminum with the heat exchanger and radiator and AC condenser mounted to it. So these Chevy 2s are very compact in the front end, so we had to go with something that was a compact system like we did from AutoRad. So we're really excited to use that product on here. Once all of the fabrication is done on that end, the body will get sent back out to get E-coated. Another new project just rolled through the door last week. This is a 69 Mustang that we're going to be building for an out-of-state customer. Getting a full Pro Touring treatment with a Schwartz G-Machine chassis, modern Coyote power plant, and a bunch of other goodies. So stay tuned for more details on this project as we progress. Well guys, that's it for this month's shop update. If any of you are going to be attending the PRI show in Indianapolis next month in December, we will have a very special project in the Ultimate Headers booth. So please come out and say hi, check out that project. We'll be posting pictures and stuff as well from the show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel here, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we will see you next month.